Okay, Year 11 Nutrition class. This is just a very short video to introduce you to your assignment on the issues investigation, because a lot of you missed the last week or so and really missed the introduction for this. Okay, so this is an essay style assignment. You need to look at how people choose food, and explain. When you do that, you need to then explain the decisions of the choices on ethical, personal, social, environmental and economic factors. Okay, you need to use in-text referencing and provide a critical analysis of 3 of the sources used, a maximum word count of 750 words in essay or report style, or 5-minute oral. Okay, so it could be a report style, a piece of work, or it could be an essay. That's up to you. Okay, you're to research the issue of your choice, gathering material and reference over the 2-week period. You should write a plan for your essay and include that with any notes with the final essay. Analysis of sources can be done separately, but that needs to be handed in. All right, so the idea was to participate in a class discussion. Now, because you all weren't there, it was a little bit difficult to actually have a class discussion. And so I'm going to talk about it briefly here. Design a question in regard to influence of food choices. You do your research, you keep your references, and you plan your essay. Okay, so I've set up a little bit of a template for you. So if you set up a Word document and you put in first the introduction, body, conclusion, references, and actually if you just copy this into there and say, right, okay, now I know what I need to do for each section. And the first part of it is the introduction, and it says state the question you're investigating. 2 examples there. Does religion influence food choice, or does animal ethics influence food choice in Australia? All right, so then you need to write a brief outline or overview of the points of information you've discovered from your research and describe why this question is important in food choice in Australia. I mean, sort of say if it's, it's important in this area, like for example, does religion influence food choice? In a couple of religions, yes, it does influence your food choice. So in Australia, there are groups of those people who belong to those religions, and it does actually influence what food they choose to eat. Okay, in the body of the essay, you talk about these factors: the ethical factors, the personal factors, the social factors, environmental and economic factors. Okay, so you actually write about all those things. So if you ended up with 5 paragraphs on one paragraph on each of those factors, you'd be doing the right thing. Okay, in the conclusion, you summarize what you have found and you answer your question. Does religion influence food choice? Okay, don't just say yes. Okay, in the references, you've got in-text references, and I've just given an idea there. Generally in SACE, 1 to 2 references equals a D grade, 3 equals a C grade, 4 a B, 5 or more an A. Okay, so make your choice on that one. You do a CRAP test on 3. So that's credibility, reliability, accuracy, and point of view. All right, so what you do is you write about those references. So you pick 3 and you say, is it credible? Yes, it comes from a government source. Is it reliable? Well, it's well written and it's up to date. It's only written last year or revised last year. Is it accurate? Well, it appears to be accurate because it corresponds to other material I found on other websites. Point of view. Is it a balanced point of view, or is it, for example, if you're doing something on animal ethics, is it from an animal liberation site? So they're only pointing out one side of the story. Okay, now 750 words isn't that long, so you're going to have to be precise. I don't want waffle. All right, so just think about that. Now, chapter 12 is the reference chapter from the nutrition textbook, and a PDF file of that chapter is on Q Drive in the Science Nutrition Year 11. Okay, that whole chapter's in there. All right, I'm not going to go through that, but what I am going to do is show you this sheet, which you all, if you haven't got it, and you haven't got the other sheet, you need to get it from the teacher who you've got at the moment. All right, so factors influencing food choices. There's a whole range of factors there, but what I want to point out is that I have written some suggestions for your essay topics down the bottom. Okay, how has eating out changed our food habits? How does price affect food choice? Now you can choose one of these, or you can choose your own question to do. All right, when you have wrong bit. When you have done your plan, written your essay, I expect you to have it get a draft response from another student in the class. Well, it doesn't have to be in the class. It just has to be another student or somebody else. Doesn't really matter. But what I've done is I've actually given you a checklist. And if you haven't got one of these, the teacher's got one of these too, a checklist to go through to see that that person has actually followed what they've been asked to do. So you can go through, a question was posed on the food choices, tick. All right, reference was used, tick. Analysis of 3 references were done, tick. The question was answered, tick. All right, so if they haven't done any of those things, you can say, no, it hasn't done it. Or needs to spell check it properly because it was really difficult to read, or something like that. Okay, so you need to give some quality feedback to the student that you're reading their essay on. All right, so that's up to you to choose a student, but I really want that put back with your essay too. Okay, so when I get back on the 25th of May, I expect that essay to be handed up at that time. Also, if you haven't handed up your sensory evaluation analysis, you also need to hand that up too at that time. Okay, there won't be any more extensions on that because we need to start some other things. All right, good luck guys. See you when I get back.